Build muscle. After 60? The coffee secret doctors never tell you. If you're over 60, your morning coffee could be doing a lot more than just waking you up. In fact, it could be the difference between keeping your muscles strong and independent, or slowly losing strength, balance, and confidence with every passing year. Now, some people believe coffee is just a harmless ritual, a comfort. Others argue it's a wasted opportunity, that you're missing out on a powerful way to fight muscle loss. So who's right? That's exactly what we're going to uncover today. Before we dive into the details, do me a quick favor. Hit the like button, share this video with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. That's how you help us keep creating content like this, practical, science-based tips to help you live stronger, longer, and healthier. Now let me ask you a question. What if I told you that a single cup of coffee each morning could act like medicine for your muscles? Not a miracle cure, not a gimmick, but something backed by decades of research and real results in people just like you. Imagine walking up the stairs without holding onto the rail, lifting your grocery bags without struggling, or even picking up your grandchild with steady arms. Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But here's the twist. It's not about the coffee alone. It's about what you put in it. That's where the real secret lies. And if you stay with me until the very end, at number 1, I'll reveal the single most powerful addition that most doctors never mention. But it could completely change the way you age. So let's get started, because every sip from your coffee mug could either be wasted, or it could be fueling a stronger, more independent future. Let's start with number 5. The hidden danger that quietly steals strength from almost every person over 60. Think of your muscles like a bank account. In your younger years, that account was overflowing. Every workout, every meal packed with protein, every good night's sleep was like a healthy deposit. Withdrawals happened too, of course, daily activity, stress, natural wear and tear. But the balance stayed strong. But once you hit your 60s, something changes. The deposits get smaller, weaker, and the withdrawals become larger. Scientists call this anabolic resistance, but in simple terms it means your muscles stop listening. When you were 25, just a little protein could spark growth. At 65, you might need double that amount just to get the same response. Imagine trying to shout instructions to someone who's losing their hearing. You need a louder, stronger signal before they'll react. That's what happens inside your body every single day. And here's where it gets scary. If you're not paying attention, your muscle account keeps draining, quietly, invisibly, until one day you notice you can't climb the stairs as easily, or you struggle to get up from a chair without using your hands. Balance starts to slip. Walking feels less steady. Independence begins to shrink. It doesn't happen overnight, but over years, this silent thief chips away at your strength until one fall, one fracture, can change your life forever. Now here's the part most people never realize. This isn't just normal aging. It's not something you're doomed to accept. It's a problem you can fight, and even reverse, if you know the right steps. And the surprising twist? The very first weapon against this hidden danger might already be sitting in your kitchen each morning. Yes, your coffee mug could hold more power than you think. But coffee on its own isn't the full story. It's what you add to it that can flip the balance back in your favor. In fact, a single, simple habit mixed into your morning routine can help restore those deposits, protect your muscles, and tip the scale toward strength instead of weakness. And that's exactly what I'm going to reveal in number 4. Number 4 is the unexpected secret hiding in plain sight: your daily cup of coffee. For decades, most people have thought of coffee as nothing more than a morning pick-me-up, a way to shake off sleep and start the day. But for older adults, coffee can be much more than that. Inside every cup are compounds that act like tiny firefighters, racing through your body to put out the flames of inflammation that quietly damage your muscles. Think of caffeine as the spark plug, At the cellular level, it helps mobilize calcium inside your muscle fibers, making every contraction a little stronger, a little sharper. That's why studies consistently show older adults who consume moderate amounts of caffeine often feel more energetic, more coordinated, and even more powerful in simple tasks like climbing stairs or lifting groceries. But caffeine is only half the story. Coffee is also loaded with antioxidants, chlorogenic acids and polyphenols that act like an army of microscopic firefighters. Imagine a low, smoldering fire in the corner of a room. Left unchecked, it slowly eats away at the walls. That's what chronic inflammation does to your muscles over time. The antioxidants in coffee rush in, extinguish those flames, and create an environment where muscle repair and growth can actually happen. It's subtle, but powerful, especially when you drink it every single day. Now here's the twist. Coffee by itself, even with all its natural benefits, isn't enough to fully protect your muscles. It creates the perfect battlefield, reduces inflammation, sharpens muscle response, but without the right reinforcements, the fight is only halfway won. To really change the balance in your favor, you need to add one specific nutrient into that morning cup. And when you do, the results are far greater than coffee alone could ever deliver. So don't stop at the brew itself. Coffee sets the stage, but the real transformation begins with what you mix into it. And that brings us straight to number 3. Number 3 is the surprising fix that almost no one over 60 is doing. Yet it may be the simplest and most powerful step you can take: adding protein directly into your morning coffee. Here's why this matters. Think of your muscles like a construction site. Whey protein is the team of expert builders, the workers who know exactly how to lay down fresh bricks of muscle. Collagen, on the other hand, is the scaffolding and support beams, holding everything together so the structure doesn't collapse. Without both, the building process slows, and the framework weakens. That's exactly what happens inside your body as you age. The solution is surprisingly easy. Brew your coffee as usual, but don't rush. Let it cool for 5 to 7 minutes. This step is critical, because if the liquid is too hot, it will damage the delicate proteins and cause clumping. Once cooled slightly, add 1 scoop of whey protein powder, about 25 to 30 grams, 1 scoop of collagen peptides, around 15 grams. Stir or blend until smooth. The result? A creamy, rich coffee that tastes indulgent, but secretly works like a muscle repair formula. I've seen patients in their 70s who swore they were too old to build muscle. Within just weeks of adding this combination, they reported less joint stiffness, more energy, and the strength to carry groceries or climb stairs without feeling winded. It's not magic. It's simply giving your body the raw materials it's been starving for. And here's the part that excites me most. It's sustainable. You're already drinking coffee every morning. By folding this step into a habit you never miss, consistency becomes effortless. And consistency is the true key to rebuilding strength after 60. But if you want to go beyond just repairing and actually feel that surge of power, the kind where you rise from a chair with ease or take the stairs 2 at a time, you'll need one more upgrade. And that's exactly what we'll uncover in number 2. Number 2 is the big reveal. The combination that acts like a turbo button for your muscles and sunlight in your coffee cup. Creatine plus vitamin D. Let's break it down. Creatine is like plugging a charger straight into your muscle cells. It stores energy in the form of phosphocreatine, so when you need quick power, standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, or catching your balance, you've got a battery that's fully charged and ready to fire. Without creatine, those movements feel slow, shaky, and exhausting. With it, they feel smoother, stronger, and more confident. Now add vitamin D, which I like to call the sunshine nutrient. Most adults over 60 are deficient, and the consequences are enormous. Vitamin D helps muscles absorb and use calcium, the very spark that triggers contraction. Without enough, your body is like a car missing its ignition key. The engine is there, the fuel is there, but nothing fires. With vitamin D, suddenly the system lights up and runs the way it's meant to. I'll never forget one of my patients, a 72-year-old man who had relied on a cane for years. He agreed to try a simple routine: 3 grams of creatine and a few drops of vitamin D in his morning coffee. After just 8 weeks, he walked into my office without the cane. He told me he could climb the stairs in his home without holding on to the rail, and he looked 10 years younger, not because of wrinkles, but because of the confidence in his step. That's the power of this combination. Coffee primes your body, creatine fuels the batteries, vitamin D shines the light that makes everything work. Together, they transform a simple morning ritual into a therapy session for your muscles. But as impressive as this is, it's not the end of the story. There's still one more secret, one that most older adults ignore, yet it may be the ultimate game changer for long-term strength and independence, and that's exactly what we'll uncover in number 1. And finally, number 1. The true game changer. Because the secret isn't just a supplement. It's not just protein or collagen or creatine or even vitamin D. The real breakthrough is combining them into a complete system. Your morning coffee plus the right nutrients, supported by gentle daily movement. Think of your body like an old car. If you only change the tires, it won't run smoothly. You also need clean oil, a strong battery, quality fuel, and regular maintenance. Coffee with supplements is the new set of tires. But when you add protein, creatine, vitamin D, and light exercise, you've got the oil, the fuel, and the tune-up. Suddenly, a 70-year-old engine can run like it's decades younger. Steady, reliable, and ready to take you anywhere you want to go. I've seen it firsthand. Patients in their 70s and 80s who thought decline was inevitable, who believed weakness, falls, and dependence were just part of aging, turned things around. One woman told me, "I thought I'd never travel again." 3 months later, after building this routine, she was walking through an airport, suitcase in hand, without fear of falling. Another patient told me his proudest moment wasn't lifting weights, but simply carrying his granddaughter up the stairs without stopping. That's the beauty of this approach. It's not about chasing youth, it's about protecting independence. Every sip of your coffee becomes an investment, not just in muscles, but in memories, in the freedom to play with grandchildren, to travel, to live on your own terms without fear of losing balance or strength. It's a deposit into your future self. So when you think of number 1, don't picture a pill or powder. Picture a lifestyle, a habit you weave into your mornings that compounds over time. Because the true game changer isn't just what's in your coffee cup. It's the way that small daily act fuels your strength, your confidence, and your freedom for years to come. Over the years, I've seen hundreds of patients walk into my office, hopeful that supplements would help them turn back the clock. But instead of feeling stronger, they often felt worse. Sluggish digestion, fatigue, or even dangerous complications with existing health conditions. Why? Because they made mistakes that are far more common than most people realize. The first mistake is more is better. Take protein, for example. One 68-year-old gentleman I treated believed that if 30 grams of whey protein was good, then 60 or 70 grams in a single sitting must be even better. Within weeks, he complained of bloating, discomfort, and poor digestion. His gut simply couldn't process that much at once. Muscles don't grow by dumping excess material into the body. They grow by receiving the right amounts at the right times, just as a builder needs balanced materials to construct a stable house. Too much cement without sand or steel doesn't create strength. It creates imbalance. The second mistake is ignoring drug-nutrient interactions. I recall a 74-year-old woman on blood thinners who, without medical advice, began taking collagen along with a vitamin K2 supplement she saw advertised online. Within 2 weeks, she developed alarming bruises across her arms and legs. Her supplements were counteracting her medication, thinning her blood beyond safe levels. This is why I stress, again and again, Always talk to your physician before adding anything new to your routine. The third mistake is falling for the hype of miracle cures. The internet is flooded with products that promise to make you 10 years younger in 30 days. When I've examined the labels of some of these so-called magic powders, I often find little more than sweetened cereal or cheap fillers. If you do feel better after taking them, chances are it's the placebo effect. Your mind, not the product, doing the work. True health is built like a marathon, not won through shortcuts. The fourth mistake is impatience. Supplements are not instant fixes. Many seniors expect to feel dramatically different after just a few days. When they don't, they give up, assuming the product doesn't work. But muscle doesn't respond on a 2-day timeline. It responds over weeks and months. High-quality studies show that visible improvements in strength and muscle mass typically take 8 to 12 weeks. It's like planting a seed. You don't expect fruit the next morning. You nurture it consistently until the harvest comes. And the final mistake may be the most damaging: forgetting the basics. Supplements were never designed to replace real food, movement, sleep, and hydration. They are reinforcements, not substitutes. If you're eating poorly, barely moving, or sleeping only a few hours a night, no powder or pill will fix the underlying problem. It's like pouring premium gas into a car with flat tires and a broken engine. It won't get you very far. Here's something I tell all my patients. Success doesn't come from what you swallow today, but from the habits you sustain for months and years. One scoop of protein will not transform you, but a daily routine, practiced faithfully, will. So let me share with you the 12-week roadmap I've used with countless seniors to turn their morning coffee into a long-term muscle-saving ritual. Phase 1. Weeks 1-2. Keep it simple. Start small. In the first 2 weeks, only add whey protein to your coffee. Nothing else. Why? Because simplicity builds consistency. Notice how it affects you. Do you feel full longer? Does your energy last through the morning? Do you feel mentally sharper? These small observations matter, and they help anchor the habit before you pile on more changes. Phase 2. Weeks 3-4. Add power. Now it's time to bring in creatine. Just 3 to 5 grams each morning mixed into your coffee can begin to recharge your muscle batteries. By this point, many of my patients report they can rise from a chair more easily, walk longer distances, or climb stairs without feeling drained. At this stage, I encourage light activity: wall push-ups, chair squats, or a brisk 20-minute walk each day. Movement plus nutrition is where the magic really begins. Phase 3. Weeks 5-8. Build the foundation. This is when we add collagen. Around 15 grams daily helps strengthen connective tissues, your joints, ligaments, and tendons. Suddenly, those knees that once ached during a walk feel more stable. Add vitamin D supplementation if your blood work shows deficiency, which it often does. By week 8, many patients tell me they don't just feel stronger, they feel younger. Their steps are steadier, their energy more reliable. Phase 4. Weeks 9-12. Lift off. By now, your body has adapted. This is when I recommend adding resistance exercises, resistance bands, light dumbbells, or simple bodyweight routines. It doesn't need to be intense. Consistency is the key. This is the phase where results become visible. Firmer muscles, improved balance, faster walking speed. For many patients, this is the point where family and friends begin to notice and comment. "You look stronger. What have you been doing?" I can talk about research all day. I can show you charts, clinical trials, and biochemical pathways. But what often matters most is seeing real people, just like you, who took these steps and transformed their lives. Over the years, I've been privileged to witness some truly remarkable turnarounds. Let me share a few. John came to me leaning heavily on a cane. His biggest fear wasn't pain. It was losing independence. He lived in a 2-story house, and the stairs had become his enemy. Every day he felt weaker, slower, and more dependent. We started simple: whey protein in his morning coffee. After 2 weeks, he said, "Doc, I don't feel like Superman, but I'm not starving an hour after breakfast anymore." By week 4, we added creatine and vitamin D. 8 weeks in, he came back to my office, walking without his cane. He said, "For the first time in years, I can go upstairs without grabbing the rail. I feel like I got my life back." Was it a miracle? No, it was a system. Small, daily actions adding up. And John proved that even in your 70s, muscle can come back. Maria was a grandmother of 5, full of love but short on energy. She told me, "Doctor, I don't want to just live longer. I want to play with my grandkids without feeling like I'm going to collapse." For her, we built a full routine: whey plus collagen in her coffee, daily walks, and light chair exercises. At first, she laughed when I suggested resistance bands. Me? At my age? But she tried. 3 months later, Maria sent me a photo. Her holding her granddaughter on her hip, smiling ear to ear. The caption read, "No fear of dropping her. Thank you." That's what this is all about. Not adding years to life, but adding life to years. Robert had always been skeptical of supplements. "If it isn't steak and potatoes, I don't buy it," he used to joke. But his daughter convinced him to try, after he struggled to carry groceries and nearly fell twice in 1 week. We compromised. He would try whey protein and creatine in his coffee for 6 weeks, nothing more. "Fine," he said, "but I expect nothing." 6 weeks later, he told me, "Michael, I was wrong. I feel steadier. I don't panic when I bend over. My balance is back." His daughter later told me she saw her dad carrying bags of soil for the garden, something he hadn't done in years. Robert didn't just gain muscle, he gained confidence. And sometimes, that's the bigger win. You might think, that works for them, but not for me. I'm too old. I'm too weak. But here's the truth. The body responds at any age. Your muscles are waiting for the signal, the fuel, and the habit. Whether you're 65 or 85, progress is possible. Science gives us the roadmap. Stories like John, Maria, and Robert prove that the roadmap works in real life. They show us that change doesn't require perfection, only persist. So there you have it. From number 5 to number 1, a journey that takes us from hidden dangers to surprising secrets, to simple fixes, big reveals, and finally, the ultimate game changer. It's not just about coffee or supplements or exercise. It's about building a system that protects your independence and gives you the strength to keep doing the things you love. Don't ever believe that aging is just a downhill slide. I've seen hundreds of patients prove the opposite. With just a small change, starting with 1 cup of coffee in the morning, you can rebuild strength, restore energy, and write a whole new chapter of life after 60. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with friends who might need the encouragement, and don't forget to subscribe. Every week I'll be here with more science-based secrets to help you live stronger, healthier, and more confident as you age. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what will you be adding to your coffee tomorrow morning?